Each move you make in chess is an exciting new part. On the other hand, as we progress through this adventure, we may encounter situations that make us feel as though we have made a terrible decision, which is a typical occurrence for individuals of different skill levels. Chess, similar to your existence, is a story of victories and defeats, and the ensuing storyline may be both fascinating and humiliating at the same time. In this video, we will discuss 8 typical blunders people make along the way, not as hurdles, but as chances to advance further growth. Number 8. Opening blunders in chess. Those new to the game of chess must have an elementary knowledge of a few principles that govern the beginning of the game, which is referred to as the opening. To maintain dominance in the middle of the board, as quickly as feasible, you must create components for chess, like bishops and knights. Move quickly to the castle to ensure the king's safety. Number 7. Excessive use of pawns. When a player makes an overabundance of moves with their pawns initially in the game, they risk allowing their opponent to achieve authority over the playing surface and limiting their progress by jamming in their pieces. The pawn push requires careful decision-making because it provides the player with board command. The excessive moves with pawns slow down the advancement of knights and bishops, and also, it puts your king vulnerable in the center of the board. Number 6. Free play with no fixed tactics. If you don't have a strategy before you play chess, you're setting yourself up to lose. Advancing the pieces just since it's your turn to do so makes it one of the most incorrect decisions that players frequently make. A well-thought-out strategy for the actions you wish to take in the match's mid-portion is necessary. Number 5. Maintaining the king's position at the center. Most players commit the error of leaving the king in the middle of the field. The main reason for moving the king away from the center is because the middle is where most of the game's activity occurs. The most essential point to remember when just starting the game: quickly secure your king in a castle in one of the 4 corners. The pawns in the middle must advance and struggle outward to gain possession of the center. Number 4. Problems in the queen's early progress. When we first start learning how to play chess, we first discover that there is a particularly potent piece called the queen. Because of this, we might be tempted to believe that it is best to take advantage of her authority right from the start. However, this is a terrible idea. You should focus on developing your other pieces initially. If you move the queen too soon in the game, or try to come up with hazards with it, you could leave it vulnerable to assault from the other side's pieces. Often your rival will play components that target your queen, forcing us to shift your positions around the queen, while they advance to prevent its seizure. Number 3. Observing the competitor's every move. Those who fail to ask themselves, "Why did my rival choose this move?" often find themselves losing to their opponents. In the same manner that an intelligent individual would only ever cross a roadway after first checking in both directions, a chess player ought not to act before determining why the other player played the move they just made. You must also plan what to do if he had another move. Number 2. Passing over castling. To castle, a player must first advance their king 2 spaces on the surface nearer a rook on the identical position, and then they have to shift the rook to the opposite side of the king. This action is taken to protect the king. When playing chess, one of the most disastrous actions a player can do is to be careful about protecting their king, which typically occurs when they fail to recognize the importance of castling. When a player fails to construct a castle in a timely manner, they provide opportunities for another player to attack their king, which nearly invariably results in a loss for themselves. Number 1. Not being confident in oneself. Lack of self-assurance is the most common cause of defeat for competitors of all skill categories. If you go into a game against a more competent player with the mindset that you will ultimately fail, you might not even commence the game. It would help if you treat your rival as though he has a rating that is 50 points greater than yours, regardless of how strong he is, because doing so will allow you to show him a little reverence while preventing you from being overly optimistic and playing in a submissive manner. That's all for this video. Leave your thoughts on this moment. Also, take a minute out and subscribe to our channel. Stay tuned. See you soon.